What's up, everybody? This is Tim Reagan, Transformers Game Group, right here, right now. I got my buddy Carl on standby, ready to chat and do some of our normal shooting the shit. Anyways, let's get this thing going. We're back, and I brought my buddy Carl with me. He's over this way. Hey, Carl.
What's going on? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. You got your monster? Me too. Wait,
Cheers.
off screen. I don't endorse any alcohol, kids. Okay, so all we got to do now is wait for some people to get here. But actually, we don't have to wait too long because our Australian friend here, Billy, is already here. What's up, Billy?
And talking to us from the future.
Yeah, from the future. I don't know what the time difference is in Australia, but
16 hours?
16?
Something like that.
He just won a game today.
Not one that I spun.
My game.
Oh, you're getting about to say, not one that I spun.
Yeah, I spun it. He took a hoodlum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's been tracking that down for a little bit.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him about that. Yeah, mine's still sitting wrapped in the closet.
Oh, he says it's Saturday at 1 p.m. in Australia right now.
Nice. Yeah, so if it's 7, yeah.
Have you ever sat on your toilet and there's a large, super poisonous snake waiting for you in the bowl? Because that's the only videos I ever see of Australia.
You're talking about huntsman spiders.
Yeah, everything's like monsters out there. I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe Billy can enlighten us or share a picture at some point. Hey, let's get right into some stuff. Let's talk about the hot buzz right now. Hasbro Unicron. What do you think about it?
This is a tough one just because, like, I think there's options where, and we've already seen it, so if you follow some of the groups, as soon as you remove a lot of the back kibble and the what I call Dorito chips on the back of the calves, it looks a lot better, but I still have a lot of issues with the wings because they're full of holes. And they're just design flaws now that are different from before. So for me, it's like, I couldn't invest that much money in the figure. I think it's amazing. But if you were to personally ask me, I think that if anybody upgrades Studio Cell, that's the better model to go for. To me, that's more screen accurate. But
yeah, I agree. I think the Studio Cell looks better overall in robot mode anyways. I mean, I'm sure that, what is it, LEK Customs or whatever, once he gets a hold of the Hasbro Unicron, he'll paint it up, cell shade it, make it look amazing, of course. Yeah. But
I just think there's missed opportunities as well. I mean, because if you're going to spend, I think average, if you got it through the crowdfund, you're paying about $625 to $650 after taxes. It doesn't look like there's really any. I think there are missed opportunities. Like the rings in planet mode should have had LED lights in them, because just the scene from the beginning of the movie when he eats the planet and everything lights up, you got nothing, which I find kind of really sad. But I mean, it's the largest transformer out there. It's like 27 inches, and it's an engineering feat. It's huge. But then people also prove that you can have the planet and then have Unicron in bot and planet mode at the same time when you just remove all the kibble, which is kind of,
that's nice.
It's a shell former. I wouldn't care. People can get angry about that all day long. If you have both of them, that's awesome. But like I said, you remove the Dorito chips, he looks really good.
Yeah. $1,000 the second release? I don't know, man.
No, it's not a second release. And this is where Bobby Skullface said that he thinks something fishy was going on. So Robot Kingdom has him up for $1,500. I think there were just extras made on purpose because they could do it. He's going for anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 on eBay. And so I think that there are going to be a few of these, but it's just insane what the price markup is.
I'm just waiting for one to hit our group. That's going to be a big game.
Yeah, it is. That might have to be wrong.
I saw the steps in the pictures. I'm sure a lot of people have of them taking the back off, and it does clean up a lot better in Unicron robot mode once you've done that. But should you have to for that much? I don't know.
But that's
going to be a big deal to do it. I don't know that either.
Well, you're trying to do a planet. I mean, that's just one thing. Like, it's a feat where you can't have everything fold into itself and disappear. I think there's always going to be some type of sacrifice, especially for something that big.
Mark wants to know, is this working? Are you asking us, or are you talking? Are you trying to message the wife? Did we miss something?
No. Do we need to relay a message? Is there an SOS?
What's up, Mark? What's up, Vince? Billy? How you doing? Yeah, I'm trying to. I was telling Mark earlier that I was trying a new program for the video chat because I really wanted people to be able to see their name on their comments when we drop them on the screen.
Yeah.
And Mark has a little more feedback. He's good with the Unicron. He won from me, which was the studio cell.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of his display. I thought it looked really good. He's got he's got Toy World Constructor. I think it's the weathered version, which is awesome. I love that one. Then he's got his Unicron, and then he has his Fans Toys Terminus Gigantus. So it's a good setup, and it looks really good.
I don't think I would be mad about the change. Well, I don't know. That was what was it? $450, $500, something like that initially. I can't remember.
550 or 575.
Maybe, yeah. I probably would be a little irritated about it because you show me a picture or something. A big company like Hasbro, it's not a mom and pop shop. You know what I mean? Making their first toy ever. They know exactly what goes into production, producing a toy from start to finish, and they've been doing it for decades. So I probably would be a little irritated about it. But it's mostly paint apps, right? Just colors.
Well, there's a couple of things. So one, there's the disc in the mouth. People are annoyed about that. And the other thing that I thought was kind of pathetic was the hot rod in the Galvatron scale, and they look atrocious. Those little things look just like they're smeared, and it was kind of bad. Like you think they could have done better. I think they could have done better with some of the choices, like on his head. Like I don't understand the purpose. Like I don't remember seeing a thing where you remove his faceplate and you get those creepy googly eyes. I was just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like where did this even come from? You could have literally the whole thing with moving the eyes. You could have removed all that and put in super bright LEDs or even an Orson Welles voice clip.
Yeah.
And you paid for all that. You ain't got it.
Or something like a little, I don't know how they would do it, but maybe like a light that comes out so you could have your little Megatron, Galvatron transformation scene played out in front of you or something. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think, but it's as big as it is. I think there's a lot of potential for third-party customization to that. Like we'll see the Dr. Woos and whatever that will fill in the holes along the rings. Yeah. Somebody could come out with better rings that have LED lights in them. I think there's plenty of opportunity for upgrade kits.
Vince says
everybody takes your money.
Yeah. Well, that would be a big game. Yeah, unless somebody was just doing it for the cost, or I don't know. I guess. I mean, your Toy World Constructor game is typically a $800 game or more, depending on whose game it is, I suppose.
And which version as well, because if it's going to be that
black which version?
That's $1,000.
I mean, you could probably pull it off for somewhere around there, I'd suppose.
My big thing is I would have to really look at shipping on that because those are very, very big boxes.
Speaking of Dr. Wu, I wanted to show you this. I think it's garbage. Check this out. Like, that's their take on cassettes. Now, I was wondering, is this a Legend scale cassette, maybe?
I think for him, most of the stuff that Dr. Wu plays with is Chug.
Or is this like a
I feel it's a
combiner cup? Does it combine? Oh, that's two different ones.
Yeah, no, this to me, this would be chug scale. This is going to be going with whatever toys are coming out.
Yeah, the only cool thing about Unicron from Hasbro, Planet and Robot Mode at the same time. Yeah, Carl had touched on that. That is pretty cool, though. I mean,
And that's 2-in-1. You
Yeah.
can't lose out on that. That I think is a good idea.
yeah. So this Dr. Wu P51B is 3.15 inches tall. I can close that window now because I don't think anyone needs to see that anymore. Oh, hey, check this out.
Samurai Showdown.
Yeah,
Classic arcade game I used to play.
that was your jam, right?
No, King of Fighters was my jam, but this was at my
Oh.
school. I had this one as well. This was harder. This was a way harder game.
It looks really good, though.
Yeah, that detail is really nice.
I mean, his biceps and abs look. I mean, they're pretty close to mine.
After how many beers?
Some might say they modeled them after my muscles.
I mean, he's got muscles on top of muscles.
That's true. But look, he also likes to party.
Yeah, he likes to drink. He's got a sake.
It looks good. Who makes that? Let's find out. Tunchi Studio. Oh, it's 1/6 scale, so that's a 12-foot figure.
12 foot? That's
I mean, 12 inches.
Oh, wow. It's Godzilla size. Okay.
12-foot figure. Wouldn't that be crazy? Cop Out is based on the movie War for Cybertron. Yeah, you know. They're always going for cash. That is their bottom line.
But at the same time, too, War for Cybertron is what the current line is for Chug. So, I mean, it's easier to do that route and just name it War for Cybertron, just like the same way. Like, I mean, because, yeah, we know that Scorponok wasn't legit to G1. It was it was pretty close, and they missed out on a few opportunities. But
Hollow hands, waffle hands. Hello. Nobody likes those.
I don't see the hands. That's one thing I guess I missed out on. I watched the YouTube video of the dude that transformed the whole thing. Like, you have to use the stand if you're going to transform that thing. There's no way you can do that with one person without the stand. And I found it dumb that they put the spare face underneath the stand, so you'll never have access to it. You have to just do a bunch of crazy stuff to move it.
Yeah, right. Well, let's get off of Unicron and let's get on to the next one. Let's talk about pre-orders. Let's talk about the importance of pre-orders and the pros versus cons. Any thoughts on that, Carl?
Well, I've had a lot of pre-orders over the last year or two. It depends on the figure. Like, we're already jumping into the hot mess of what is X-Transbots and Loki, Locke, whatever you want to call him, Cup. I had Virtuous on pre-order, canceled it because now I have to wait until I see something. Obviously, you've got the whole Fans Toys base where if you don't jump in on a pre-order, then you're just pretty much you're done, and then you're gonna be lost to the late tax.
But Fans Toys has proven themselves.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. That's
every
why they're
time.
number one.
I
Here's
mean,
one.
they don't have any major flaws like, I don't know. I can't think of one. But compared to other companies, they have that historical record to where they knock it out of the park every time. So, yeah, you got to grab them pre-orders.
Yeah, well, transformations are always going to be over-engineered and not fun. It's very rare that they've got a figure that's fun to transform. However, what I will say this is when it comes to pre-orders, there's a couple approaches that I do. Obviously, I get a lot of my stuff from Simmons because I toy hunt. But what I would like to point out, too, is that I think TCP, the Chosen Prime, has probably one of the best ways to do it, which allows you to make little payments as you go. So, like, we know that sometimes Fans Toys, as an example, could put up a figure and they might have a price out, and it might take like a year and a half. It gives you plenty of time, just per paycheck or per month, you pay $20, $25, so it doesn't feel so monstrous out of pocket, because it can be really tough, especially now, seeing about a $40 increase on all these things because of shipping. So you can look at the fact that where you get it, because TF Source usually comes out being the highest, and then everybody changes their prices. Do you want to gamble on winning it in the group? You know, do you want to risk it to see if it will hold out till you have the money? So it's really a multifaceted approach where I would rather try and pay it off as I go. Because
I think it's just individual needs, really. I mean, um, some people are willing to risk it. Some people are willing to pay that late tax until people have a hands-on video of it, which might be smart when it, like you mentioned, with X Transbot's Cup. You know, he's not been getting a lot of love, even though I've seen just as many people say that they really like the figure and they've had fun with it, and they haven't found any breaks or faults in it yet. But when a company recalls the figures, it says something. It sends a strong message.
Yeah, I saw a post today. So anybody who's part of like Terry's fan club on Facebook, he had a post. I can't remember who he was talking to, but he actually regretted sending out his before Chinese New Year because he got directly contacted from X Transbot saying that they wanted the product back to fix the issue because they don't believe the average person is going to be able to fix it properly. And so that's just a lot of time and money, especially if you have to ship back to China. That's just, and people can make complaints saying like, you know, it's the company, like the factory's fault. No, you would have more than likely seen that when you take samples out, you're not taking out one sample to do hundreds upon hundreds of units. That's not statistically probable. You should have taken multiple units at different times in different batches to make sure the issue didn't happen. And there's no way with everybody having those panels fall off the legs everywhere that didn't get noticed. That to me is just mind-boggling. But
anyone that doesn't know, X Transbot is essentially the same company as Keith's Fantasy Club. So
yeah, this Keith.
The information that Keith sent out was, "Hey, I want those bots back." I can tell you that for a fact. But let's see, Vince. Oh, he's talking about the figure we were looking at from what was that video game?
Oh, it's Samurai Showdown.
Yeah. The Storm version. Yeah, Storm Collectibles made that same figure. Not as tall.
Yoshihiro or something like that. They had some really good characters in that. Storm. Yeah, that was a fun game.
I have one. Let me see if I can. Well, I mean, I have more than one, but I have one that I had to keep, and that's my Apocalypse. That's Storm Collectibles. Look at that.
Yeah, it's got some crazy. You can see the creases in the forehead.
He's got 3 different head sculpts. He's got the Omega beams that shoot out.
That was your first. Was that your first review?
Yeah, I did a review. Well, I mean, you know.
Hey, give yourself some credit, man. It was your first one.
I mean, but he's a big figure.
That's a massive
big figure. As big as my damn head.
Did he come with a chair?
He didn't come with a chair.
See, that probably would have been.
That would have been good, yeah. But they have all kinds of articulation too, and their hands come off. They come with different handsets, headsets, all that stuff. I don't think I pegged this on good enough.
Do you still have that Lobo as well?
Yeah.
Were they the ones doing the line that was kind of crossed over with Mortal Kombat, or were they just? Oh no, it was,
that's what that's from. In fact, I really like this. The way they designed him, you know what I mean? Because sometimes they change, like the Joker from the Injustice game. I don't like that at all. But this guy looks similar enough to what I would see a Darkseid in a movie or something, you know, which is what I like.
If I had the money and the space, if there was a video game line that I would go after, by far it would be King of Fighters with like the 3 to 6 characters I played with. I would love to do stuff like that.
They got some good ones. Oh, check this out.
It's like Kyo, Riori.
I just got these in.
Life-size face huggers. Dude, put that up in a raffle. I'll go after one of those.
I just don't know how I would ship it, you know, because it's huge. I mean, look at this. Like, I guess I could bend the tail down, but I don't want to damage it. I don't know. I know why you want it.
Damn. Whoa.
Yeah, I know why you want it, Carl. No wonder they're face hugging. So somebody had asked, Billy asked about pre-ordering Giga Dinobots.
Yes.
I don't think you need to pre-order all of them, but definitely select ones like Gutter. In fact, they're going to be and are on pre-order right now in a lot of places.
Yeah. See, they're all right there in the corner. That's my Gigapower.
Oh yeah. Show them your Gigapower, Carl. Let me see.
Yeah.
I mean,
which one do you want me to grab?
I can ban you from this? That is an awesome option.
Hold on. So you ban me. So like I've got 2 of them down here, and then I've got the other 3 up here. They're just massive. I think they're well built. Let me grab.
Do you have any Fans Toys dinos? You don't,
I do not.
Because the Fans Toys Grimlock, I mean, he ain't got nothing on the Grimlock scale wise from Giga, and I'm telling you that it looks amazing.
So just for some comparisons, as we kind of mentioned, like I am 6'3", and that is in my hand. So these guys are, and you get things that help render for like the toy. So you'll get like the smoke on this, so you can actually pop these off. So the detail is actually really good, and they're just massive. I have the same 2 weathered as well, because I am very interested in that weathered peel. Looks really, really good. But you can just tell these guys they're not small at all.
I definitely like the chrome aesthetic.
Chrome, yeah. So all the ones I have are chrome, and I actually won the majority of these from the game group.
Yeah.
I think 3 out of the 5 I have won.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because I bought Supinator, and then what was it? I bought Grant's Graviter that he won since he already had one.
So here's the Gutter Chrome. He's a really good figure.
Yeah,
and he comes with these little leg up pieces here. I'm pretty sure. Don't these come? Is that his dino leg right there?
Yeah, that's cool.
There's one that has a piece that comes off.
So yeah, so on
very accurate.
I think it's Grasser. So Grasser, so they're Sludge. The Triceratops, he actually comes with the pieces, so you can make it more toy accurate, where you can actually put the panels on the inside of the thigh.
Yeah,
so you can make it look accurate. So yeah,
and they come with the alt heads too, which are nice.
And then the swords and the guns all have light up features. They're just beefy. I mean, to me, like, and people can argue on the blue in the face. When you watch the episodes where the Dinobots are introduced, they are scale-wise massive compared to the Autobots. And Fans Toys, I don't feel is the right scale, and Gigapower kind of gets the scale better when you look at the picture of, you know, the Dinobots next to Optimus Prime and so forth. Like, it just looks better that they're just huge.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
Yeah, because you can see, like, that's 15 inches. That's Jetfire at 15 inches, and they're huge.
Isn't that Darkseid? Yeah, that's Darkseid. Did I say Apocalypse or something?
I think you said Apocalypse, yeah.
Yeah, I always say Apocalypse. Thanks, Mark. Let's see. Didn't a bunch of Fans Toys pre-orders got canceled? It's not even a thing, is it? Hasn't happened to me, but I see a bunch of posts. I think a lot of orders got cut in quantities because Fans Toys, you know, with between COVID, they were running really short-staffed and
their own factory.
Yeah, I don't think that they had the manpower to produce the quantities that they normally would.
Two other things also happened. One being they stopped taking all pre-orders for Berserk because the price change is happening. And then there was also the cut for Tom. When Thomas came out, Thomas was originally going to be like a $144 figure. and his prices jacked up from anywhere, depending who you got him from, was anywhere from 190 to like 240. So they stopped those. They either did refunds for people or they made them pay the difference. And that was the same thing that X-Transbolts just did, because for their Springer, you had the base version, which was like going to be like 130, and then the premium version at 200. So,
well, Vince, about the Injustice line for Storm Toys, Ares would be a beast. But what I'm looking forward to, if they ever do it, is Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. You just don't find Swamp Thing figures. They're rare, and he's really a badass.
It's a very dark, I mean, was that Dark Horse? It was a really dark line anyways. I wanted to see the Swamp Thing, like the series that DC was doing that they canceled abruptly, which didn't make any sense because they were supposed to be planning for like the Dark Justice or whatever it was. But it's just like that, like DC is just so dumb when it comes to live action. They just, I don't know. I just feel like they should just stick to cartoons.
I am waiting to see what the director's cut for the Justice League movie is going to be.
Snyder cut.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if they did another movie. The dude that plays Cyborg, who I think is badass, ain't gonna do it. He hates Josh Whedon.
Well, what are you gonna do? Reboot him while it's early, I guess. They could use the Cyborg from the Doom Patrol. I like him a lot. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
The Cyborg.
That's Brandon Fraser.
No. That's
that's somebody else. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. That kid. He's not bad either.
Yeah. I mean, I liked him. All I need him to do is get on there and say, "Booyah!" Yeah, you know. Let's see. What else do we got to talk about here? Masterpiece versus Legend Scale. And when I say Legend Scale, I mean third-party Legend Scale. We're talking DX9, which have they even put any out lately?
Well, yeah. So now for DX9, new
Magic Square, Mech Fans toys.
So DX9's version,
budget-minded one, but they're starting to come out with their own molds, which is amazing. And their Astro Train's real good.
Iron Factory.
I like them, but it's just one of those. The way to design more of the IDW style, the over stylized stuff, which I enjoy. But if you're already knee deep into G1 or classic looking figures, it's tough to mix them because it's so black and white.
Well, what we realized was at the convention was that Legends sold really, really well because they're getting more and more detailed. They look really good, and they're a fraction of the cost. Like you're talking $20 to $45 on average. The hard part's always going to be scale because all three have like their own scaling system. But I really think it's going to come down to people choosing what they feel like they want their scale to be. So like New Age, which is part of DX9 because they had their Warren Pocket series. You've got Magic Square. Yeah, these things sold like hotcakes when we were at the convention. Like he had, was it like Megatron's throne, and then the Medic Ops station. And I think on like Saturday afternoon, we finally found more of them in the back of the truck. We got rid of most of them because people were just like because we had a little diorama going, and people really liked them because at the same time too. They don't take up a lot of space. You can put more of them on one shelf, especially if you have a detolf. I mean, like I've got, that big honking thing. So if I created a diorama, you could actually have little sections of it for Legends. If you do, the Titans class figures, then the Legend scales go really well with those versus MP scale.
Yeah, for sure. Like to have Starscream hanging out with Scorponok or Optimus Prime and summoning Omega Supreme or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That always looks really cool. And it was cool. And I think a lot of that, like at the convention, there were some things that weren't selling. They weren't moving. Like the Marvel Gallery figures that I got, the Diamond Select ones.
Yeah.
But once I took them out of the box, and people would come look at them, and I'd be like, pick them up, look at them. Same thing with the diorama. You know, I had the little setup. We had it all set up with the little legend scale figures all over the place. And like, pick it up, check it out, play with it. And they started selling like crazy.
Yep.
And I enjoy that interaction too. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I like picking up stuff and playing with it.
Because we sold the Mech Fans Toys had the whole Dinobot line that went in one go.
Yeah.
You had Mech Fans Toys. I think they were Coneheads, but I think the big one is it which is it Magic Square or New Age? I think it's New Age. With their Seekers and Coneheads, you got part of the Space Bridge, and that to me was ingenious to help create a diorama. And the way that you could use those things, to me, that was hands down probably one of the best things. And I mean, they're milking the mold. I mean, we've seen every color under the sun of a Seeker and Conehead come out of that. But I just think that having that diorama where you can have the Space Bridge and then all of them kind of like circling in different directions, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of Magic Square with their pulling their first combiner costing as much as a normal combiner. That to me was weird.
Yes, Legends. They're not the same as like Hasbro Legends. They're smaller.
Yeah, so Hasbro line is what you would refer to as chug.
Yeah. So like New Age, like these little guys, well, one, they're mini cons to begin with, even in the original series. So like if you had, I don't know. What do I got here? Like I got this. Oh shit. Oops, excuse my language. I got the Ultra Magnus Mech Fans Toys, right? I think he stands about 4 or 5 inches tall. And, you know, Ultra Magnus is a big bot. These guys probably 3 inches. But you would be surprised. One, they're fun. They're fun, quick, easy, simplistic transformations. Just like you remember from back in the day. Well, they're not quite as simple as the original G1s where, I don't know, you flip the legs down, you flip it up, and it's done. They're more detailed than that. But, you know, they're just, you ever seen those little fidget toys? They're fidget toys, man. And they look good. Surprisingly, they have some really good engineering too. Sometimes it'll take you by surprise. Like this Ultra Magnus, for example, has some really neat engineering. And they're like little tiny masterpiece figures. You're going to get really good paint on New Age and Magic Square. Mech Fans Toys, I think mostly theirs is going to be molded. Colors in the molding itself, but they do have some paint. But
I think that'll depend on the character too. Because they know like the more sought, like Magic Square does a killer Megatron. I believe they're the ones that it's either them or New Age because those are the two. Like if it's like how it's not quite the same, but how Fans Toys and X Transbots thinks they compete with Fans Toys, but it's like New Age and Magic Square are like head to head with each other. You got really good choices, but it comes down to the character. Like they've got one of the best Megatrons out there.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder why this one just says Facebook user. Who is this?
Yeah, who's this? Legends 1/12, I think.
1/12 scale? It's quite possible. I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. Vegas was a good toy. Wait a minute. Okay.
Curtis.
Was it Curtis? Is that
Curtis? Is that you, Curtis?
AKA Prime?
Yeah, Prime.
Let me see here. Just got to get to it.
Yeah, Vegas, that was awesome. That's where I got my...
Yep, that was Curtis.
Curtis.
Yeah, like GoBots.
Yeah, GoBot. Dude, I had Rock Lords when I was a kid.
I don't remember them making an arc. But they made the what was it called, Carl? The Seekers had it, the pieces.
Oh, yeah, the Space Bridge.
The Space Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, Shockwave Space
I don't remember the arc.
No, you see people, you have people who have created dioramas where they have the arc.
Yeah, they make their own. Yeah.
There's talk about when you look at the side of the packaging on the Kingdom, you see a gigantic robot. Somebody in the group pointed it out to me. If you look at the side of a Kingdom package, there is a gigantic robot that I have never seen, and they're apparently going to make the Ark, and he'll be the next Titan class, which makes me wonder, are they going to do the Nemesis? Because I don't want the Ark. I want all Decepticons.
Well,
look, Decepticons, angry.
Yeah. Well, that being said,
yes, Lemon Tree's Purple Potato.
Purple Potato. This is our Nemesis right here.
I got hands on with him. So I posted pictures to a couple of the groups. I'm actually kind of surprised. Transformation is tough. People have admitted that, but he's not really well. I don't think he's painted. He looks really good. He's got very, very strong plastic. It's not super thick, but you can feel the quality. It's a very well built product, and it was fun to play with. And you can articulate him like no other. I
can see some die cast here in the joints.
It was fun to play with. I played with him, and I played with that MMC's Orion Pax. Both those figures are awesome. And on that note, there is an MMC game up, and you people need to be playing that game. That figure is awesome. Man, anybody who's got the Studio Cell or the Hasbro Unicron, this will go really, really well next to that.
There's the money shot right there. The Nemesis. Does it come with the flight stand?
Yes, it does. That is the flight stand with the
blast effects.
Yep, all that. That's all included. It does take batteries, but from what I've heard, it's kind of weird. That's one of the few things that was kind of a bit of the not well placed engineering for turning the lights on.
Where would that be located?
I don't remember. Grant got it, and he was just saying that it was really, really tough. And then Mike Sifrit, who's a part of Half the Battle Toys, he just said it wasn't really well placed. And this is a dude who like messes with these things on a daily basis. But it's really good.
There's some prototype shots.
Yeah, and this is where the prototype pretty much stuck with. And you get accessories for hands. So you can either get 2 hands, or you can change one of the hands to a the blaster. And then the coil that goes from the backpack to the cannon is actually like a metal spring. Kind of like its own little slinky. It's done really well. And I put pictures up on some of the groups, and I actually put them next to I have Fans Toys Quake Wave, and he's only a little bit smaller and a little bit narrower. So he's big. He's not small. Like I thought he was only going to be a 6-inch figure. He's a lot bigger.
I really like Quake Wave. He's probably my favorite Shockwave.
You need to buy that just because you're Irish. Oh, Purple Potato. Yeah, potato. That makes sense.
Nice. Let's see. What else do we got here? Let me see what we got. X Transbots Recall. We touched on that. Marvels versus Legends. Somebody had asked this, and this will be an interesting group topic. Complaints, comparisons, G1 cartoon to modern movies, meaning
waivers versus original,
things like that. Yeah. I think the Bumblebee movie, the Cybertron scenes, bridge the gap between the G1 and the modernizing for movies. I think it did it perfectly, in my opinion. I could watch a whole movie of that. As far as the Bayformer movies go, I mean, I enjoyed them. Don't get me wrong. It just aesthetically was so drastic of a difference between what I was looking forward to seeing, I suppose. And that's the main thing that I guess tripped me out. And yeah, there was a lot of explosions, which are always good. G1 cartoon had a lot of battles and stuff, and
robots that are computers that had the worst aim in the world that couldn't hit anything. Just kind of like how G.I. Joe, you had the best of armed services, and they couldn't hit anything until the movies.
They're literally the elite villains and elite military, and no one can hit shit.
Yeah,
like stormtroopers.
So the first Transformers movie I thought was good, Bayverse, because they reached out to the fans. You heard the classic lines. The issue that things went wrong is that they were overcomplicated. Like, and I know I'm visually impaired, but this was before I lost my vision. It just was too much for the transformation. Like, they wanted to make it super realistic. There's too many panels. With the Autobots, yes, you could figure out what they transformed into. The Decepticons, it was a lot harder. Starscream looked like a gigantic Dorito chip. Nobody knew what the hell Megatron even turned into. And at the same time, you had the issues where it's like, yes, Soundwave can't turn into a Walkman because kids don't know what a Walkman is. You can't have Megatron turning into a gun because that's too harsh. Yet you have these things like Jazz got ripped in half. So it's like, and then doing like mass shifting. So there are issues that you have where they had to take some creative liberties, but I think they went too far. But I agree with the Bumblebee movie. I don't like the way Bumblebee looks. I think that's kind of dumb. But they paid homage where he was a Volkswagen Beetle. Smart. The animation in the beginning, I think they could do that as an entire movie. Granted, it would cost a lot. I have the 3.0 Blitzwing with the G1 colors, so he looks like the actual G1 Blitzwing. And I have the 3.0 Soundwave. And they look very good, modernized, but they work really, really well. They really hit it. I was trying to
I mean, don't get me wrong. Ultimately, I'm just glad that they got a big movie presence again, which kind of revitalized the whole franchise. But you can't be looking again at this. How are you going to put this in a movie compared to what you got in your hand? You know what I mean? Come on. You want to see this fighting for real?
Yeah, no.
Peeling stickers and all. The problem for me during the action scenes was when you saw them fighting, like fist fighting, you couldn't tell the difference between what's what. It was just one big mess. So, you know, I think it was cool that they added so many details, but at the same time, it's like there were too many details.
Well, and this is something where I gave DC a lot of credit for Aquaman, is that they actually went wide on the fight scenes so you could follow more that's going on. So when you kind of go cheap and you narrow in on like this small amount of space, and then you can't see what's going on because you can't focus on anything because there's just too much going on, that is just cheap directing, in my opinion, because you're just basically losing out on seeing good details. And that's the big issue, is because like CG just costs more money to do. So that was like the easiest way for these guys to kind of like cut corners. Just wasn't happy. Yeah, wasn't happy with it at all.
There's a comparison shot.
Yeah, none of it makes any sense.
I mean,
like
Soundwave, man, I don't know.
And I joked where I called Blitzwing Blitzscream because like it wasn't Blitzwing. He wasn't a triple changer. He didn't have the colors. He was exactly the same as Starscream. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, this version was way
that's
cool.
The closest. Yeah, that's the closest I think you're going to get. You know, and they did well. Like Cliff Jumper looked really good. They had RC. We saw. I know the fans' toys name's Hunk, whatever. You know, when you can see them in that 2.5 minute clip, which you know they added in afterwards, but that is just dumb.
That's Galvatron, right?
Yeah, from from Age of Extinction, where they basically just made him another Prime, which didn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't you just call him Nemesis?
Yeah. Oh, check this out. Another flight stand. Let's see if they show a picture. No, it's just that. So it's got some LED lights here. That's cool. Nice. 4 of them. That'd be neat if you had a jet or something. You can get some underlighting.
And a lot of these look like they have the same clip system. So as long as that fits Flame Toys or 3.0, then yeah, that would work.
Well,
Or even,
this one says it's for the toy world. Toy world.
oh, so that's for their Optimus. Their was it tactical waistcoat.
We were going to look at this too. This Death Stinger.
So cool. I don't even know what the hell that's from, but it looks cool.
I thought it was Scorponok at first.
And that's what it turns into. Scroll
like
up.
Take on a Scorponok. But I guess it doesn't even transform, huh?
No, scroll up. It does. It turns into like a shield.
That's it? It turns into a shield?
Yeah, scroll up. There you go. There it is.
Shield for what?
I don't know. That looks more like something out of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, I guess I would definitely have this in this mode. Well, look, the whole shell comes off of them.
It's still pretty cool. It's like 19 inches long, I think.
It looks fun. Let's see. It is, yeah, almost 20 inches.
That's huge. That's so cool.
$114 shows he has them.
Scorponok's cousin.
Oh, and here's the...
Oh, speaking of Scorponok.
For Hasbro Scorponok. Carl and I were talking about this earlier. We're trying to figure out what's with this clear face shield cover.
Yeah, because one of the other part comes with like a new visor for the eyes, and then this version comes with like a clear case. We don't know.
I like that the gun, rifle, cannon, whatever, comes in two pieces. So you can put them together like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then in base mode, it adds a little aesthetic to it. Yep.
Yeah, more articulated legs, more cannons.
Here's something I wanted to ask you about. Look at this combiner.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Look, they combine. Look. And then they combine into this big one.
Is this Big Firebird? Because they're supposed to be doing a combiner as well. The one that did Nicey.
This is Big Firebird.
Is it? Yep, Big Firebird.
So their thing is boobs on robots, I guess.
Yeah, anime.
There it is. Yeah, that's interesting. I probably won't carry those.
I wouldn't. That Nicey was good though. I just wish she could have gotten the RC face.
This is a Ernest Core Craft Robot Flame Ant. Look, it comes with a little tiny Game Boy. I guess this is just a mech type thing.
Looks like it.
So he's got the Game Boy in his hand.
Fits in with modern day kids.
Yeah. See, it connects to him right there. That's pretty cool. I don't really get it, but okay. Oh, he does transform into that. A flat piece.
Something to step on.
I have no idea what this is supposed to be. It's all good, though. Somebody does. Mastermade.
Yeah, Mastermade. See? Look. He turns into little dudes. He's actually like a combiner. Those things only stand like 10 or 12 inches. They're not very big, but they're definitely really cool looking. They've done a... Who have they done? They've done a Mega Supreme. I think they've done a Metroplex, a Fort Max, and a Triptychon. Oh, and Overlord. It's really cool though. He's about 220, 240 bucks. That's really cool.
There he's in his combine mode.
So I think this one comes with another bust. So there's a special version that you can get. It comes with like a different head. Oh, it's really good.
There's a different head right there from the back. You got that one.
You get the drill pieces. Nice.
Yeah, see, there's two different heads right there.
Yeah, because I think you scroll further down. There's because like I think Overlord came with like a different face sculpt as well, with a bit more of a smirk.
There you go.
Yep.
That just looks fun to me.
Mm-hmm. How tall?
It is 7.87 inches.
That's tiny, but it's cool.
Yeah. How did they even? That looks really good for being that small, because you gotta. If the full combined mode is 8 inches tall, that makes it these guys like 2 inches, right? 2-3 inches.
It was pretty small.
I guess the torso. Well, no, I don't know. Let's see if we got any new comments before we get off of here. Cloud9 is the best. Yes, I like it too.
There was talk that Cloud9 is part of Fans Toys anyways.
Curtis is saying good night. I agree. I feel like this is a good time to call this one a wrap, man. So, unless you got anything else you want to bring to the table?
I don't think so. I mean, we got some good games that are going on right now. Remember, it's Free For All Friday.
I'm trying to do this on, to some extent, try to have some kind of live chat on Fridays around the same times. And, if you got a good camera, which everyone does, I guess, now with their cell phones, laptops, tablets, PCs, a decent camera, whatever. All you really need is internet connection that isn't falling apart. Try to get someone new on here each time and kind of check out their collection and get their thoughts on some things and go from there. And one day we're going to have all of the Transformers Game Group admins actually come to the chat too. But we totally understand why people can't make it all the time. So, that being said, Carl, I want to tell you good night. It's good talking to you. Mark, Vince, Billy, Curtis, all you guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you on the next spin.
See you next spin.